What's up, freaks? I'm going to get started in 2 seconds. You know I need my freaking Herbalife. It's actually what we're talking about today is training, nutrition, health, fitness, peak freak style. Some of your questions you guys asked earlier today on Facebook. We're going to get to those answers in a second. But first, just to let you know, this is going to be a new weekly thing. On Thursdays, it's called Steve Does. You know, on Tuesdays, we have Steve Says. So on Tuesday, we're going to get inside your head, kind of tell you what you need to be thinking about, how you need to be operating. And then Thursday, we're actually going to tell you how to do it. So we're going to talk about it Tuesday and do it on Thursday. The things you can actually apply when it comes to health, fitness, nutrition, training, all that good shit, peak freak style. So it's going to be Steve Says on Tuesdays, Steve Does on Thursdays. So this is episode number 1. Kickstarting it. If you guys are here, you can ask questions right down here. I have several of your guys' questions from earlier we're going to go over and cover. Basically, what are you struggling with when it comes to weight loss, fitness, nutrition, health, all that good stuff, your training, the actual tangible stuff. You know, Tuesday, like I said, is more of the mental type stuff. Today is more of the actual physical nutrition, the tangible things you actually need to be doing and taking care of throughout the week to get your training, your shit in order. So we train different, we eat different, we act different, and we are fucking different because we are peak freaks. So that's what it's going to be about. Like, you're going to be learning about our unique training systems. We're going to be going over how to prepare for the invasion, the way that we train, our different weight loss strategies, our nutritional discipline, and our educational eating. That's what we call it. We don't diet at peak. We have nutritional discipline and we demonstrate educational eating and we teach educational eating. So that's all it's about. We just let you know what you need to know, what's going into your body and how the numbers are going to affect you and all this. And according to your goals, how you need to eat basically according to your goals. There's no diet. There's nothing like that. This shit the way that we eat can last forever, can last for a lifetime. Look at me. I've eaten like this for over 20 something years and I'm totally freaking normal. So if you have questions, ask them here. We'll check them out in the comments. Ask them right here live as we're going. Or you can always call or text or email. You can call at 845-893-6529 to leave a text or email at peakphysique.steve@gmail. So you can do those all throughout the week. You can send if you have questions to be answered live on here, or you can just jump on here and ask them live. I have several questions we're going to get to in a second, but we just want to get things rolling. So these live episodes are usually going to have some set topics, but the majority are going to run off of your questions. Your questions throughout the week or your questions right here live on the air. Oh, Rosa's starting up already. Rosa talking her shit already. Normal according to whose standards? According to my standards, the rest of you are freaks. I'm the normal one. So I'm going to start a quote from one of the great minds of this generation, Steve Eckert. He said, if you do what you should be doing for a long enough amount of time, eventually you will be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do forever. Now that's some deep shit and it makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but I'm going to say it again. If you do what you should be doing for a long enough amount of time, eventually you'll be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do forever. So I have you guys right here on my screen if you have any questions. That is a quote we're going to go off and say. That's what basically this Steve Does is all about doing what you're supposed to be doing what you should be doing so that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do forever. Meaning if you're eating the right way and training the right way for a long enough amount of time, and that just becomes habit and normal and automatic, you can then live life on your terms and do things however you want to, and it's not going to matter. You're going to be set in your ways. It's going to be freaking automatic. Nothing's going to be able to stop you or derail you. Even if you go have a couple of adult beverages or have a dessert or have something you're not supposed to have here and there. Because you're going to be so locked and loaded in mindset, you're never going to overdo it. You're never going to start going backwards. It's always going to be just forward momentum. So now this brilliant quote can be applied to all areas of life, but we are talking about how in relation to health, fitness, training, and nutrition, because that's what Steve Does episodes are all about. So fitness, we're going to talk about, before we get to all your questions, we're going to talk about fitness. What is fitness? To me, fitness means freedom. So what does fitness mean to you? What is actually just the word fitness? What does it mean to you? So we're going to break it down because that's what we're talking about on these episodes is the actual nutrition, the actual training, and your questions about nutrition, supplements, training, and just overall fitness. But first, I want to make it clear what is fitness. Fitness to me means freedom. So you're probably like, what do you mean by freedom? So Imagine you get home. I'm going to take you on tell you a little story. Follow along me on this story. And we're going to talk about two different types of people and let me know which one you would rather be. What do you got, Rosa? What do you got saying? So damn true, because food doesn't taste the same anymore like it used to. It's true. You start cheating and you don't even want to cheat because first you already know what it's like, what it's going to do to you. You're already like locked in on such a strong path. It's like automatic. It's a machine. You can't even be derailed with it. And then when you do have a little bit, like you have that piece of pizza, like that shit didn't even taste that good. I remember it tasting so good. It doesn't even taste that fucking good anymore. You've conditioned yourself. You train yourself mentally, physically. It's just automatic. So, all right, I'm going to take you on a little story about what does fitness mean? And I want to take you on a story. I want you to imagine this. Imagine you get home from working all day. You're tired, exhausted, and you just plop your ass down on the couch. Your 6-year-old son, your 4-year-old daughter, who are both absolutely batshit fucking crazy, come flying over towards the couch. You just sank your sweaty ass into that seat, and these two little freaking Hellcats come jump from another couch and come flying across through the fucking air and jump right on top of you as you're just stretched out like a freaking zombie on the couch after you worked all day. One of those little kids lands dead in the middle of your freaking gut. The other one lands straight across your chest, right? You start gasping for air after this double impact with these two little crazy ass kids. The wind's knocked out of your stomach. You feel like your chest and your lungs are fucking caving in and you feel completely crushed. You're in pain. You're pissed off. So you yell at your kids. You're like, what the hell's wrong with you two? Get out of here. Why are you jumping on me like that? Go to your room. I just got home from work. I'm tired. I'm trying to relax or whatever bullshit. You snap on them like an ass and they start crying. They run to their rooms and they're in there crying in the room and they fall asleep, right? This is like right in the afternoon or whatever the hell time it is. So nice work, you lazy, sloppy motherfucker. Not only did you not only bury yourself, but you just dragged your two kids who are all happy and positive and motivated like most kids are down into that pile of shit and sorrow that you put yourself into on a daily basis. So you feel bad about it. So what do? What are you going to do? What else? You head to the fucking kitchen and you make yourself a double meatball, bacon, parmesan heart attack on a fucking bun sandwich is what you probably do. So once you're done wolfing down that nasty shit, you need to have a rest, right? It takes a lot to process that shit and to swallow it and start digesting that shit or whatever. Let it sink into your fat cells. So you need a rest. So you go back on that couch and you take a little power nap, a power nap that lasts probably 2 fucking hours. Just follow me on this little story. Follow me on this story here. So you finally wake up in a puddle of your own freaking drool and your back fat sweat that you have in between in your back and the couch. And you're waking up because you hear your kids, they're up and running and they're all happy. They've already forgotten about it. They're all motivated and happy and full of energy again. And they're running around ready to have some fun. They woke you up and they want you to go play with them. So much for relaxing the rest of your night, wasting away your existence with your ass glued to the fucking couch, stuffing your face with a whole bunch of more shit, digging yourself deep into that hole. So much for that, right? You're going to get up. They want you to go play. So you're going to go out to the fucking yard, and all you can think about is getting back onto your couch. And you're hungry because you're hungry again. You just had a nap. Now you're hungry again. It's time to feed, right? You got to feed the beast. So you half-ass attempt to run around the yard with your kids for you last maybe 10 freaking seconds, like a minute, man. And before you start sucking wind, your face is freaking bright red. You're sweating bullets. You're fucking dripping sweat. So you tell them that you're going to go take a break. You crack open your 3rd or 4th cold beer since you've been home from work and you sit down for 5 minutes and you still can't catch your freaking breath. You're still wheezing and huffing and puffing and all out of breath and all that other shit. And it fucking strikes in your head. You remember you forgot to pick up your prescription from the freaking pharmacy. So you tell your kids, playtime is over. We got to run to the store. You get them in the car for a fun family trip over to the freaking drugstore. And you get there, of course, because you didn't prepare. You're not thinking clearly. Mind's not right. So your shit ain't ready. So you have to sit there and wait in the pharmacy, in the freaking drugstore for 45 minutes. So of course your greedy ass gets bored there. So you start chopping down some junk food while you wait. Get some junk food for your kids. Figure, you're going to make them happy. They'll like you. You'll pay them off with a fucking Snickers bar for not playing with them and wasting the whole day and yelling at them earlier and all this other shit. So you finally leave with your 5 bottles of your heavy fucking narcotics. And it's getting late, so you need to pick up some quick dinner. So you grab some fast food because it's fast, it's cheap, and it tastes fucking good, right? So you grab that shit on the way home. But you're so hungry, you just eat it in the car on the way home because you're just starving after such a long, productive day that you just had, right? So your kids, they finish eating that nasty fucking slop that you served them. and they go do their homework and they go fall asleep, and before they fall asleep, they're just laying in their bed and just laying there with just a complete lack of fulfillment in their freaking lives. Your slimy ass is more than fulfilled with all the shit that you shove down your freaking throat throughout the day. So you go to sleep telling yourself, oh wow, what a busy, productive day. I'm just wiped out. Like you just accomplished so much as you go telling yourself when you go to sleep. But meanwhile, the kids over there just going to sleep in just empty freaking disappointment. So I could keep going on with this story, and you can imagine where it might end. First of all, where's the guy's wife? Did she leave him? Is she working a double shift because he's such a freaking loser and she doesn't want to go home? Whatever. How does this story end? All I could say, we could keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until the story ends, and you could come up with a couple of imaginative ways that the story could end. But all I could say is having unfulfilled kids that despise you is harder than getting up to go to the gym at 5 a.m. And to take it a step further and a little more fucking grim reaper shit than that, a funeral is a lot more freaking expensive than eating healthy or getting a gym membership or getting some training. It's a lot more expensive than that is your funeral. So now picture this same scenario. You guys following my story so far? You following the story? So now picture the same scenario if you had your fucking fitness game together. Your shit was on point and you were focused, laser beam focused, and had your educational eating and your nutritional discipline, like what this Steve Does episodes are all about. If you had what I call fitness freedom, you wake up at 4 a.m., you make it to your peak physique boot camp or your boxing class by 5 a.m. You go do your work. You go to work from 9 to 5, just say whatever. You come home. Sure, you're a little spent. So you drop down on that couch for a moment. The same place that person A did. But you're person B. You're a little different. You're allowed to sit down for a second. You're allowed to take a deep fucking breath. So you plop down that couch for a second, but you know you're still going to get some shit done in a second, right? Those same two little midget demons come flying from the other couch right towards your stomach. One coming right towards your chest the same way they did for person A. One of them lands right on your stomach, just like they do with person A, except they land right on your tight abs, and you were able to squeeze in the split second that you saw the incoming flying freaking power bomb drop kick coming at you from one of them little kids, while your reflexes were sharp enough to catch the other monster midair with your arms. So you go outside, you run, you play, you throw, you kick, you fight, you wrestle, you climb, you punch, you sprint, you jump, you backflip, and you fucking cartwheel with those kids for like 2 hours straight. And then you end up eating a healthy dinner together, helping the little freaks do their freaking homework, and the kids pass out due to exhaustion, due to the happiness and the actual fun and activity they had from hours of playing with you. You go to sleep the same time as the fucking loser, as person A was, that we mentioned earlier, telling yourself the same exact thing. Wow, I'm freaking wiped out. That was a busy, productive day. Now think about it. Person B or person A. Which one are you? Which one are you and which one do you want to be? Be person 2, not freaking person, or whatever the hell it was, person B, not person A. The one who has the energy and the desire and the mental attitude, along with the freedom to not be a freaking loser. That is what fitness is. Not only bodily fitness, but family freaking fitness and fitness freedom. So to me, fitness is freedom. You have the freedom to do what you want to do, live the way you want to live, act the way you want to act, move the way you want to move, and you're not a slave to the lack of energy that you have, or the lack of strength or balance or coordination or just mental freaking sharpness you have. That's what fitness is to me. So what's fitness to you? Tell me what fitness is to you. What does Rosa say? Being able to move freely, being able to fit in place once you couldn't, and going up the stairs without being out of breath. There you go. That's what fitness is. It's not just saying, oh, I'm wearing the little thong with a little dental floss string up my ass on the beach in my bikini. Fitness is a different level than just what you're seeing. It's almost really is a state of mind, but it's also in the physical form is having the energy to do the things you need to be doing in your life to help and support and make the people happy around you is what you need to freaking do. So that's what fitness is. Oh shit. I'm getting out of here.
No excuses!
What a freak. What a freak.
Nobody's seen you.
What a freak. No, it's up and down. It's up and down camera. So that's what fitness is to me. What is fitness to you? Put it there in the comments. What does fitness mean to you? Like the actual state of fitness, not just looking freaking good or whatever else. The looking good and the looking good on the beach is only a byproduct of the fitness that I'm talking about, the fitness freedom that I'm talking about. That just is a bonus. is after it takes care of your mental and your physical, and you have the energy to go throughout the day from early in the morning to late at night, just like a non-stop freaking freak. That's what fitness is. And then if you just happen to look decent in the process, that's just an added bonus. That's just a byproduct of the fitness. That's not what fitness is to me. Fitness is to me being the one that is able to tighten up your abs while that little monster's jumping on your stomach, and catch the other one at the same time, and then go and do all kinds of crazy shit for hours and hours nonstop, not being a lazy ass or your sweaty ass on the couch, eating all that bullshit, going to pick up medication like person A was doing. Be person B. So that's just a little kickstart, a little introduction to how these Steve Does are going to go. We're going to have a little topic in the beginning, a little story, or talk about a little something, and then we're going to get to your questions. There's going to be quick little episodes here, but you get the idea. We're talking about fitness, nutrition, training, health, but we're talking about in our own peak freak style. Because I told you earlier, we eat different, we train different, we think different than the rest of the world, and we get different results. And that's just because we're peak freaks, and you guys are freaking awesome. So we're going to get some of the questions. If you have questions, what does Kanisha says? Mental, emotional, physical strength. Exactly. That's what fitness is. Yes, here comes the one that jump on them. Yes, but I don't sit there and land on me and then go do all that medication, all that other bullshit. Be person B. If you've been watching. If not, go back and watch this shit. Diane says it's a feeling. Yes, it is. Fitness is a feeling. It's not just the way you look. It's not even the way you fit into your clothes, really. That's just a bonus. That's a bonus that's going to come along with all the other stuff. It's a little more inside of you what that is. Your energy and your heart and your lungs deep in on the inner level. But let's get to some questions. If you have any questions, put them down here. We'll answer them. If you have any additional questions, I have some you guys sent in earlier today and some that just came up throughout the week. So we're going to go over a couple of those, as many as we can get to. So the first one was, what do we have? Comment on there? This isn't updating. Oh, Vanessa says, adding years to my life, not having high blood pressure anymore, not facing cardiovascular disease. Fitness to me means perfecting from the inside out. That is exactly what we're talking about. It's the inside, like literally your organs, like your mental fitness, your lungs and your heart and your blood and your freaking veins and your digestion. That is fitness. That is what leads to the looking good. But it's got to start from deep fucking inside of you. So let's get to some questions. You have questions, put them here, but we're going to go off the ones that we already have. Earlier today, someone asked, besides protein keeping you feeling full, what else does it to your body? So the quick, easy answers to that, the simple ones that you probably already know, are going to be water. Drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, just drink tons of water. Every meal, a bottle of water. So you should be having 5 to 6 meals throughout the day. Every one of those starts with a bottle of water. Then you also have a bottle of water when you wake up. Bottle of water before you go to sleep. Bottle of water before your workout. Bottle of water during your workout. Bottle of water after your workout. So water. Especially if you're training hard. Especially as we get to the warmer weather around New York at least. So water all the time, hydrated. It's just going to help your muscles. It's going to also help you keep full. Also, fiber is going to do that. It's going to make you feel full. If you're having a little more fiber, if you're not, you might not have enough fiber. But what's really going to keep you full, it's again, we're talking from the inside out, even though this is Steve Does, but this is Does. It's also, going to always come back into the mental and the inner stuff, is you need to have the positivity, the right mindset. And the number one thing that's going to keep you full, if you think you're hungry, you're probably not hungry. It's your goals. It's your forward direction. It's your grinding it out going forward is what's going to keep you full. Knowing what you need to do to get to where you need to go is going to keep you full. And I don't even know. I just had these questions written down. I don't even remember who asked these questions, so I can't address you personally. But if you're watching and it was your question, you have more specific questions about that or want to go deeper into it, let me know. But it's the right mindset is what's going to keep you full. On top of the water and the fiber and getting enough protein. If you're trying to lose weight, you should never really be full. If you're trying to gain weight, you should never be hungry. I'm guessing the majority of the people watching, you probably want to lose weight, right? So you should really never be full. It means you might have overeaten. So don't think you need to be full and stuffed. That's not a good feeling. That's definitely not what you want to be thinking about for losing freaking weight. So be directed and guided by your freaking goals. That's what's going to make you feel full. Knowing what the outcome is, knowing the future is what's going to make you full and make you not think you need to eat until you feel freaking full. Is knowing what the outcome is, what that fitness that you want to get to and achieve and the goals you want to achieve. That's the shit that's going to keep you freaking full. So if that answers your question, if not, you can put it in here. We can go into that more. Oh, it was Ida. There you go. I thought it was Ida. Ida asked like 17 questions and I think I have all of her questions here, most of them. So Ida, stay tuned. We're going to answer all your questions. That's right. She asked that question. And she said Ida did. She's speaking for herself, I guess. Don't go giving away anyone who won any contest either. Ida, like yesterday, fucked up my whole video telling them who won the contest. All right, so the next one was how many grams of protein is considered too much? All right, first, I don't even know if it might have been her that asked this also. I think it was. So if you're saying besides protein, what do you need to keep you full? So I'm thinking that you're not so full, then I'm going to tell you right off the bat, without even knowing how much protein you have, you're not getting too much protein. It's very hard to eat too much protein, and the only thing too much protein is going to do is be too many calories and be stored as fat. Like all those myths of kidney disease and damaged kidneys and all this other stuff that people read on some bullshit website that it causes all this kidney problem with protein, too much protein, is really pretty much bullshit. For the most part. Again, always check your doctor, all this other blah, blah, blah. Check your doctor warning, all this other stuff, right? Probably he is having a little more than just too much protein, your doctor. Some of the doctors I've been to, they could probably increase their protein. But they're going to tell you, you might hear some kidney disease, damaged kidney function, all this and that. That's only if you had excessive, I'm talking about excessive amounts of protein. We're talking like 2 to 3 or more than 3 times per kilogram of body weight, or whatever, not kilograms, you could say go by pounds, more than like double grams per pound of body weight. Excessive on a regular basis every day, more than that, more than twice as much as your body weight for an extended period of time. And not just that, also, if you already had like some like chronic kidney disease or kidney problems already, is when it's going to cause a problem. So if you just have normal, healthy, functioning kidneys and you have no problem with it, which I'm pretty sure you would know if you did, you are not going to have, there's no such thing really as having too much protein. You're not going to get too much protein. You will get full before you have too much protein. So there goes back to that, besides protein, these two kind of go hand almost against each other. You're going to be full from protein and from water and everything else before you could possibly ever even come close to having too much protein. And we're talking about general population here. Of course, I'm sure some of you could prove me wrong and just have ridiculous amounts. But there's a lot of myths out there about too much protein. How much is too much protein? You're not getting, I'm pretty sure you're not getting too much protein. Probably you are not even getting enough protein. Rosa, what do you have? And freaking steak, which takes too long to digest. What are you saying? Steak will fill you up? Yeah, steak will fill you up because steak, we all know steak is from a cow, right? You ever seen a lean, athletic, energetic freaking cow? No, motherfuckers are so lazy they sleep standing up. You could just tip them over. So we know all about that. We talk about that all the time. I'm guessing that you're talking about your steak. So how much protein is too much? A freaking lot. And if you already have some kidney problems, probably you would have to, I don't even know, to cause a kidney problem. I don't even know how much protein you have. I don't even know if there's a way to even calculate that. You would need to have like triple your grams per pound of body weight or quadruple like every day, probably for like a year, to do some kind of like kidney problem or develop like a kidney stone just off of that. If anything, something was created or something happened, it's because you already had something going on there. So if anything, that too much protein is going to then let you know you had some problem that maybe you didn't even know about. So bam, I've been having a lot of protein. Again, look at me, completely normal. Just keep having protein. So what do we need protein for? Just since we're on the topic of protein. Protein is going to build muscle mass. It's needed for post-workout recovery to repair muscles. So not just building muscles, it's repairing the muscles you already have. Protein is in the diet is going to support fat loss because it's going to spare your muscle and use carbs and fat for fuel instead of using your protein and muscle fuel, because you don't want to use protein for fuel. You want to use protein to build and store and repair. You don't want to store and build fat and carbs. So by having enough protein, that's going to, especially when you're on a low calorie or low carb diet, you need to bump up your protein even more because you need to make sure that you're burning fat and getting rid of those carbs you have and not storing the fat and carbs. So if you go low carb and low protein, guess what? You're going to get fatter. You might lose weight, but you're going to get freaking fatter. What's going to happen? Protein is important for a healthy immune system, for building healthy connective tissue. You just need protein. You need protein, probably not getting enough. Insufficient protein is going to also screw up your body composition. You're going to be that whole skinny, fat look and loose and jiggly. Like I was saying, if your carbs are low and your protein is too low, you're going to get loose and jiggly. Your fat percentage will actually go up. You will lose weight and your fat percentage will go up. Then you know you're not getting enough protein in your diet. What does Vanessa have to say? When I was 205 pounds, I had protein in my urine. I'm now 60 pounds down, no protein in my urine, and I'm on a high protein daily nutrition. There you go. Exactly. So Let's go right to the next question. The next question was, how do I shock my body to continue losing weight if the weight loss stalled? I still want to eat healthy, but the last few pounds are not budging. First thing is, you need to eat for your goal, eat for your goal weight, not for your current or your past body weight. So just probably fine tuning the numbers. You really would need to look at your specific numbers. And if the less you have left to really lose of fat, then you just need to fine tune your macros, manipulate them a little bit, go through a periodization where you're changing up the amount of carbs compared to the amount of protein and switching that up week by week. Basically eat for energy and make sure you're not overtraining. Overtraining could also be part of that, which gets you stuck in place. But you need to switch one of the variables, which are load, changing up the load, which means heavier weight or lighter weight, changing up the speed that you're working or the frequency or even your rest. Just switching either one of those, either more than you're having or less than you're having. You need to change some of those variables, but you need to really go into specifics about that on an individual basis about how to really shock your body. You need to change something in that you're doing, but probably you're just getting a little complacent in what you're doing and maybe need to step it up a notch. You need to train for your goal. Don't train for your current body or your previous body. Train for your freaking goal. What was next? Next, I think this was still freaking Ita, asked like 17 questions, like I said. She said, we're encouraged to eat vegetables if you log your food correctly in the app, which we use MyFitnessPal, the free app on your phone. Your carbs will be high. Should I refrain from eating vegetables because of the high carb percentage? The answer is absolutely not. Do not refrain from eating your vegetables. We're already cutting your fruits pretty much. You're already not going to get carbs in almost anything. So you need to have carbs. We want your protein at a certain amount. So you need to have a good amount of carbs, especially for the high intensity training you're having. So you need to have vegetables. And again, I'll say it again, even though they have carbs, you could have as much vegetables as you want. We're talking about green vegetables, broccoli and spinach and stuff like that, not corn. The in-betweens would be like the tomatoes and carrots. You don't want to overdo those. They start getting up a little bit higher. But the greens, you can still have as much as you want, and you're not going to have too much carbs for the day, especially if you're getting enough protein and you're getting the protein you should be having for the day. Your percentages are going to be totally fine. They're not going to be off. They're still going to be there. You need some carbs. You do not want zero carbs. Look at a cup of chopped broccoli. A cup of chopped broccoli is 31 calories, 6 grams of carbs, 2.4 grams of fiber, and 2.6 grams of protein. So you're getting 6 grams of carbs and almost 3 grams of protein. So you're still getting a little bit of protein even with that. A small amount, but it's a little bit. And if your other foods are like all protein, your carbs are not going to go up. And that's even going to add into your slight number of protein little by little. On top of that, the half of those carbs that they are, like 2.5 of those grams of carbs out of 6, almost half, are fiber, which switches things up a little bit also. If you're talking about net carbs, we don't go by net carbs, we still go by total carbs, but in your head, there's still something to that. When it has fiber, you can get away with even a little more probably, because it's supposedly you subtract it from your total carbs, get a net carbs if it's fiber, all this other stuff. You are fine with the vegetables. You need your carbs. You cannot eat too much green vegetables to make your carbs go higher than your protein. It's just impossible. It's not gonna happen. You'd have to eat fucking pounds and pounds of broccoli, which you're not doing, unless you are doing, but I doubt it, but it's not gonna happen. So don't worry about eating your vegetables. You need your vegetables. Any other quick questions in here? Any questions? That was like the basic ones we had. Quick questions. I had one or two more, if I could find them. I don't know if Ita is still there, because we have some topics coming up in the next week, in the next couple weeks. So other questions that have come across throughout the week, I'm kind of putting into those episodes for you. So we'll break them up. This kind of was about the protein, and we started with that fitness stuff and we went to the protein, how much protein, and we'll get into more of that stuff. What is this? Talk about bang. Bang what? Just want to talk about bang. A shotgun bang, a rifle bang. She asked, what's the deal with creatine? I actually had a episode next week already planned on some supplements and some creatine and stuff. But you asked about creatine. Let's talk about creatine. Fuck it. Let's just talk about it now. It's the first episode. We're just going to go on all the topics possible. And you'll just come up with some new questions for next week. And that's fine. So creatine. Yes. Bang, bang, bang. Everyone's fucking bang. Bang is like an energy drink. Most of them are carbonated. Again, I use them. There might be some, I don't know, you still need to check the ingredients. Always make sure the ingredients are good for you, but it's got like pretty much no carb, no sugar, not much in there. It's got caffeine, so you need to know how you react to caffeine, especially at certain amounts. It's got some other ingredients in there like coenzyme Q10 and some other stuff that it's supposed to work on your brain function. I don't know what the fuck it did for my brain. It does give some people a headache, I think, sometimes, especially mixed with caffeine. But bang, they make a pre-workout powder also that's pretty decent. And they make the ready-to-drink cans for just energy. It has a little bit of creatine in it also. So since we're talking about Bang, and it has small amounts of creatine, even if you had the Bang by itself and you were going to use creatine, you would still need to add creatine monohydrate, just a plain white powder into it. What else we got going on here? Bang, 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 bang. Everyone wants a fucking bang. Everyone's banging. All right, so creatine. Let's talk about creatine for a second. The short answer for creatine, so the question was earlier, like today or whenever that was, said, what are the pros and cons of creatine and the info and benefits of adding creatine in your pre and post workout? So creatine. The short answer is creatine is going to provide energy inside your muscles. It's going to provide energy inside your muscles. What's creatine going to do? It's going to help your muscles produce more freaking energy, like literally energy, not like awake or alertness energy like caffeine, like inside your muscle energy, like getting a couple of extra reps maybe that you weren't used to getting, or running a little faster on a sprint that you're not used to running, maybe. Because it's just, you're getting creatine in a lot of foods you're getting, but it's not usually going to be enough for some high intensity training if you want to add it into your nutrition. So it also supports tons of other functions of the muscles. You could go on about creatine as one of the most studied and tested supplements in like the history in the last 30, 40 years. So it appears to be completely safe. And well, I will never tell you to start taking something. You need to always make that decision yourself and check with your doctor. But creatine is also going to improve high intensity exercise performance. Like I was saying, in a sprint, it's going to speed up muscle growth. There's even been studies that it's helped neurological diseases and Parkinson's disease and things like that. It also can help lower blood sugar levels and fight diabetes. So creatine is a pretty good supplement. So now, should you use it? So I said you will need to decide for yourself. Do I use it? I do use creatine on and off here and there. Use it, I mean, pretty more on than off. But there's like myths about creatine and water, and is it going to make you gain weight and all this other stuff. Creatine will help you gain and keep and retain and use and work and build lean muscle, active lean muscle that you're using. So you need to be working your entire body. If you're using creatine, you need to work your entire body anyway, but it's going to help you gain and retain active lean muscle tissue, basically, which makes it an indirect fat burner. It's not really a direct fat burner. So because the more muscle you have on your body, the harder then you can work out in the weight room, and the more calories you're going to burn during and after your session. So if you build a little more lean muscle in the long run, as you're building that muscle, you're going to burn more calories because your muscle is going to be burning and need more fuel and use more energy and burn more calories like a machine when you have lean muscle. Also allows you then to eat more. So the myth that creatine causes like excessive water retention, like you're going to be all puffy and bloated, about that's pretty much, for the most part, is just pure bullshit. Is it going to hold some water? Sure, but not that you're going to gain like 6 pounds of water weight like right off the bat, unless you're just like a rare case. That's just kind of bullshit. With the creatine, they've been studies on it, there've been tons of studies over the last 20, 30, 40 years, and the test subjects have always showed no extra water increase against the subjects that thought they were using creatine and didn't even have it. So the placebo groups. So it's been studied. There's not really any water retention or whatever when you're using the creatine. But will you eventually gain weight? You might gain a little weight, because think of it. If you could look like this and weigh 140, or look like this and weigh 150. So maybe eventually you're going to start seeing your numbers stay the same, or it start increasing a little bit. I always like to say, if you're not too close to your goals where you want to be, if you've lost a good amount of weight, maybe you can start mixing in creatine. If you already have your brain locked in, because will it slow down your actual weight loss right away in the beginning? Possibly it could, because will it hold a little bit of water? Maybe. Or it's going to also make you train a little harder, which is going to make you have to fuel a little more. So in the beginning, you might not. So if you're kind of where you want to be, almost close to your goals, you've lost a ton of weight already, then maybe you want to try it out only if you know you are mentally ready to think that you got to think the big picture, the long run, that you're working on building a little extra lean muscle. Because then that lean muscle in the long run is going to help you burn fat and burn calories in your sleep and allow you to eat a little more things that you didn't want to eat in the future. Because like I said, if you do what you should be doing for a long enough amount of time, eventually you could do whatever the fuck you want to do forever. So it all kind of ties in together. It's a big freaking circle. So creatine is considered a pretty much one of the top performance type supplements. I still consider it more of a performance supplement than a weight loss supplement. So if you've already lost a good amount of weight and you want to start bumping your performance up, then you want to go with it. And then eventually it's going to start going into, in the long run, indirectly, I see it as eventually being a weight loss supplement. If you have the thought process to think ahead and think big picture, and the second you see, oh my God, I only lost a half a pound this week when last week I lost 3 pounds, and you fucking crumble and you go to shit, and then you go on a freaking binge and start eating a whole bunch of shit. If you're one of those, then probably don't risk it until start using the creatine when you were mentally ready for it, basically. You got to be an adult. You got to be fucking mature. You got to have your shit together. Then go right ahead if you decide to. That is creatine. Anyone else have here? You can try your goal weight, but you've been still killing it. If you say you try creatine, right? And try for 2 weeks, say. You've already lost a ton of weight. You lost 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds, I don't know, whatever. And you maybe have another 15, 20 pounds or even more or less to lose. And you try it out for a week or two. You already know what it takes. You've already lost so much weight. You know what it takes. So you are almost in that window where you can play around with shit and figure out if you have a week or two to play with. Okay, now I didn't lose a ton of weight in these 2 weeks, and you're not going to let it mentally get you down. Maybe you gained a pound. Oh my God, you gained a fucking pound after you lost 50, 60 pounds. Big fucking deal. You're allowed to. Just know that if you're ready and you realize you're not ready for it. So test it out maybe. Try it out. Test it. See what happens give it 2 weeks. And then after that, you're probably going to be fine, and then you can continue maybe using it. That's up to you. Or for some reason, you use it and it slows down your weight loss because you still have some weight to lose, and you just realize, okay, I'm going to come off. I won't use it now. And that's fine. You'll come off. What's going to really happen to you in a week or two? You're not going to become this big behemoth. You're not going to regain 50, 60 pounds. So it's up to you. Play around with it. I think it's a good supplement, but that's up to you where you want to kind of test it out and play around in your weight loss process. I suspect most people would be totally fine using it almost at any point in the process after they've lost at least a little bit of weight. Who knows? Probably even, I don't know. I got to look at the studies if it's been used for like extreme overweight and obese individuals even. I'm not even sure. I almost suspect it would even be fine for them because it's just going to give them more energy in the muscles that they need anyway. So it's only going to help them when you're losing weight. You're going to lose weight if you're eating healthy. If you're obese and you start training your ass off and you're eating the way you're supposed to be eating, creatine ain't going to fucking stop you from losing weight. I'll tell you that much. Creatine is not going to stop you. So I'm almost convincing myself more and more that almost anyone can, but that's still your choice and up to you. Anything else on here? Any other questions? We're going to wrap this up. Any other questions? Put them in there. Ask questions throughout the week, and we'll put them together depending on the topics we're on, and I'll answer them on the weeks we're on this, or we'll just go freestyling it and answering all different kind of topics together. I don't really give a shit. Anyway, this has been episode number 1. Steve does. Tuesdays, Steve says what to do. Thursdays, we talk about Steve does what you need to be freaking doing to live the life that you want to live and be who you want to be, what you actually need to do and put into place and actually physically do. Anyway, I will talk to you later. See you in the gym. Have questions, put them on here. I'll respond to every single one personally. And I will talk to you later. No excuses.